What's going on, YouTube? A little bit different than the normal videos. I'm currently at work. I don't think I've talked too much about my line of work, but work for Lee Mechanical. I'm a plumber here in the state of Oklahoma. If you guys need any new construction plumbing done, I'm your man. Hit me up. But gonna start this video off here at work. It's about 1:30. As soon as I get off of work, we're gonna head back to the house and tear into the Ctr. Man, I tore out the back seats. I cleaned everything underneath them. I found a ton of crap, literally crap, rat poop. I found a ton of rat poop. I cleaned it all up, and I'm still getting smells emanating out of the car. So a big thing is I turned the air conditioning, the blower motor on. I turned the air on in the car. Oh my God, it was so bad. The smell was so bad that came out of those vents. I have to take the dash out. Not excited about that, but at the same time, I kind of am, because that's going to be some more content for the channel. That's going to be something that I can bring you guys along. With the process of pulling the dash, and then you guys will get to see everything that I find behind it. This Type R is, 22 years old. Almost 22 years old. It's almost 22 years old. But 22-year-old car, and over half of its life, it's sat in a barn. Legit, I think it was 10 years, 11 years, from 2009 or so, 2009, 2010 till 2021. It sat in the barn. So, 10, 11 years or so, and some rodents decided that they were going to make themselves at home, and they found themselves underneath the seats. I found some carcasses under the seats. There was stuff in the rear hatch, underneath the spare tire, and I think the last spot that we really need to look is behind the dash. Like I said, the smell coming out of the vents is horrible, so I'm assuming we're going to find some more dead bodies, but we'll see once we dig into it. But that's the plan for today. I'm gonna finish up core drilling here at work. I've got some holes, some penetrations that need to go through to the next floor, so that way I can stab bathtub right there and all the water will drain out properly. But yeah, we're gonna get back to the garage here in a little bit. We're gonna start pulling out the roll cage. It does have a carbine bolt-in roll cage. We're gonna unbolt that cage, pull it out, and start pulling out interior plastics, because again, this whole entire dash has to come out of this Type R because it smells atrocious. And if we really want to get it clean, smelling decent, and sanitary for that matter, like, no one wants to drive a car that smells like rat pee and rat poop, right? So that's the plan for today. I know we're not going to get it finished, but we're going to jump into it. We're going to hopefully get the dash out, if not a bunch of the interior parts out. So that's kind of what we're going to get into today. So I'm going to get back to work, and as soon as we get back to the shop, we're going to jump into it. All right, guys, so we're back in the garage, finished up at work. Like I was telling you guys at work, Ctr smells horrible. There is still that just wretched smell of like mice poop, mice pee. It just stinks. It stinks. As soon as I turned on that blower motor, the air coming out of there smelled like death. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out the seats, I'm gonna pull out the cage, and we're gonna start pulling out some of these interior pieces so we can get behind the dash. Once we get back there, we're just gonna clean up any nastiness that we find, sanitize it, try and get the car smelling better. I want to say this will be the last big interior piece that needs to come out. I've done the rear seats. The rear seats have been cleaned. They all smell good now. No stench coming off of them anymore. Walking to the passenger side to... Oh, it's already open. I was walking to the passenger side to unlatch the trunk, but back here doesn't smell too bad anymore. As you can see, I've wiped down the entire back hatch area. Once we get the cage out, I wasn't able to fully get behind here. I wiped it down and vacuumed it out as best as I could back behind these plastics, but Once we get the cage pulled out, I should have no issues pulling these rear plastics out, and then we can really clean and wipe down underneath and behind them, try and get the rest of that stench out. I pulled the carpet back up to the front seats. There's nothing underneath them. They cleaned up pretty nicely too. All the water that had come out of the car, once I started shampooing the carpet, started coming back clear. So not too worried about pulling up the carpet, but we will take the seats out. We're gonna pull a lot of that center console stuff out, get behind there and make sure that everything behind there is clean. And then we'll get the dash prepped and ready to be pulled out, so that way we can clean behind the dash. And who knows, maybe we won't have to pull it all the way out. Maybe we can just get the vacuum behind it and suck out any nastiness and wipe down what needs to be wiped down and get it tucked back in there without really making too much of a mess. But that's the plan right now. I guess I'll set the camera up and we'll do a little bit of a time lapse. We will get the seats out, the cage out, some more of the interior out, and then we'll get this thing cleaned up. So let's get to it. All right, real quick, before I really get into this, I wanted to just take a quick look at how clean the back of this Civic is. Like, if any of you guys watch Tommy FES spec, you guys will know, like, I think this is FES spec. All these bolts are still zinc plated. Seatbelt bolts are still zinc plated. No rust anywhere. Everything is just super clean. I mean, obviously it could be wiped down again. It's a little dusty. There's a little grime here and there, but super clean. I was very impressed by that. But got the first bolt out. It looks like the cage just got a few of these bolts in various spots, like right up in there. And then we've got another one right there. Well, that one's already out. So as you can see, I just grabbed that bar and pulled it out. So piece one of the cage is out. So I'm gonna jump back in the time lapse. It's nothing super interesting. And let's get this cage out. Jesus Christ. Well, got the car cleaned out. Got the battery hooked up. I got air running through the vents right now. Smells 100 times better. That smell of death is no longer lingering. Car just I can't even explain how much better it smells, but I made quite a bit of progress today. I'm really happy with it. We've got the dash and everything pretty much assembled. Putting the glove box back in now, and then I think tomorrow I'm gonna start on reassembling the rest of the interior stuff. We'll get that center console piece put back in. I've got the e-brake cover over here, and I went and wiped down everything. Every single piece that was pulled out was sprayed down, scrubbed down, and wiped off. So when the interior goes back together, it should be really clean, and it definitely should smell a lot better. I think that's going to be it for this video. We took the Ctr apart, cleaned it up, and in the next video we're going to put it back together. Haven't decided on if I want to put the roll cage back in it or not. If I do put the roll cage back in it, I might not do the door bars, so it's easier to get in and out. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind on that part yet, but we'll see what happens when the time comes. But I think that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna go through real quick and just show you a couple options on the interior of the JDM EK9 Type R-X. We got power folding mirrors. I'm sure I've showed this already, but I love them. They're super rad. We got our power folding mirrors. There's a little Japanese lady trapped inside this box that talks to us. Have no idea what she's saying, but she's saying something. And then over here, I thought this was pretty cool. This screen, it flips out, and then we've got DVD, cassette, and CD. Thought that was pretty rad, and then flips back up. But yeah, we've got the air going. It smells a million times better in here. Really can't complain. We cleaned behind both sets of plastics because we were able to get back there with the roll cage out. The entire back of the car has been cleaned up, and again, just look how clean all of this stuff looks. All these screws are still zinc plated. All the bolts for the seatbelt brackets are still zinc plated. No rust anywhere, just immaculate as can be. Does not look like a 20-year-old Honda Civic, especially none of the ones that I've seen. But I think that's gonna about do it for this video. The next video we'll be putting the interior back together, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of work on this thing. I haven't filmed really any of the work that I've done to this car. I was gonna go through the wiring harness, but then I decided that since I'm going Haltech and we're doing a standalone and a digital dash and all that stuff, really doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to dig into the stock chassis harness right now because I'm gonna replace it all within the next year. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I will clean it up a little bit. We're gonna re-loom a lot of this stuff so it's all hidden and it's nice and tidy. But other than that, we're just gonna re-loom, tape some stuff up, tuck it away so it's not running all across the car, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the dash back in. We'll reflock the dash before we do that, but I'm gonna put the dash back in, and then we'll talk to Manuel about getting cage welded in this car, because I think that's where I'm at. I need a cage installed, and then we can mount the racing seat. Once the racing seat is installed, obviously I'll have something to sit on, and then we can drive the car. Car does run and drive. Nothing wrong with the swap. I just need to make well, I'm not gonna make it. Manuel, hopefully over at Humble Performance, will make me a custom right-hand drive hood exit header, so that way we can get this car up and going. But I think that's gonna do it for today. I know I've said this like 7 times, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the video off there, and I'm gonna try and do another upload before the weekend. So see you guys soon. Have a great night. If you guys like this type of content, please help like and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.